Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Welcome to In the Headlines. In the next few minutes, we'll be going over some of the publications of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, namely al-Hakam, al-Fazl, and the Review of Religions. Now, beginning with al-Hakam, which is published every Friday, the headline that is coming up is a very interesting one this week, and it is called, "Is the Past Our Future?" And this talks about mankind's shift towards the things that it used to believe in and in the ways that it used to live. Now, we have Fatir here from al-Hakam who will be talking about this. So if you could kindly tell us about what's being featured this week.
Yeah, so Noman, you mentioned the headline is "The Past, Our Future." This is a very interesting piece about how people are reverting back now to religion, and this could be a great possibility. We have a number of special articles as well. One is a report actually by the Lajna department, who had a national Amla meeting with Huzur, and Huzur gave him valuable advice, and that's mentioned in this report as well. We have a piece on Bishop Lord Lefroy, who was actually at the time of the Prophet Messiah Islam, and he raised some allegations against Islam. The Prophet Messiah Islam had replied to those, and he actually grew fond of the Prophet Messiah Islam. Also, we have, of course, our This Week in History, where we go back 100 years and see what happened during this week's dates. And one interesting thing is that an Englishman actually on the 13th of January accepted Islam in Qadian. Further, of course, we have news from around the world, from Kosovo, Jamaat Ahmadiyya Kosovo. They did some Humanity First work there. Brunei, we've got a piece from Brunei where they've acquired a new Salat center. Belize as well, where a basketball tournament happened, and other countries as well, for example, Kenya.
Of course, the vision in al-Hakam is capturing the very rich legacy of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, and this is something which is covered in literally every single page. Now, moving on to the Review of Religions, and I'll let Shahzad Saab do all the talking for that.
Jazakallah, Naman Saab. So in the January edition of the Review of Religions, our feature article is an article which is titled "The Preservation of the Holy Quran." This is by Farhan Iqbal Sahib, who is a missionary serving in Canada. And the article basically focuses on the writings of the Promised Messiah والسلام, and the Khulafa, and also draws upon the research by scholars as well on how the Holy Quran has remained intact since the last 1400 years and has been perfectly preserved. The other articles that we have as part of our notes and comments section, which is a relatively shorter piece, is by Dr. Bashir Ahmed Khan, and it's on some thoughts on the banking crisis in the West. So it focuses on some of the contributing factors towards the recent economic crisis that we had in the West and its current impacts. And another article that we have actually is introducing a brand new section that we have launched under the Review of Religions, which is the Archaeology and Asian Religion. And the section head himself, Rizwan Safir Sahib, explains the kind of content that will be published under this section, also the importance of the study of archaeology and Asian religion in the current age.
Okay, and the Review of Religions, of course, some people may question what archaeology has to do with a study of religion. So if you could kindly just enlighten, how will archaeology link to the cause of the Promised Messiah, alayhi salatu wassalam?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Holy Quran actually draws our attention towards and looking back into the past and the nations and civilizations, and from that we learn great lessons. Also, the writings of the Promised Messiah والسلام, and the Khulafa have also, expounded upon the past civilizations and what we can learn from them as well. And the Holy Quran, as I said, as well, draws upon that as well. So this section, of course, will focus on that. And we have a variety of, and so many different experts and scholars who will be, presenting their research under this section.
Jazakumullah Jaza. So with regards to al-Fazl, what's being featured in the upcoming edition is, of course, the continuation of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih's visit in Guatemala, but more on that in just a second. On the front cover, we have the address of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih on, of course, the 124th Jalsa Salana Qadian. There is a continuation of the article on the 10 proofs of the existence of God. And there's another very interesting article by Nasir Qamar Saab, additional Wakilul Ishat, on the Mubahala challenge of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Rabi. Now, going back to Guatemala, I believe, Shahzad Saab, there is something very, very historic that Review of Religions has announced. Our viewers may already know about this. It's, of course, this launch of the Spanish edition of the Review of Religions.
Absolutely, Numan Saab. So in addition to the English edition, the Review of Religions is published in the German, French language as well, on a quarterly basis. And at the occasion of the historic event in which was the inauguration of the Nasser Hospital, Hazur also officially inaugurated the Spanish edition of the Review of Religions. This is the last month we published the second edition of the Spanish edition, and the main feature article, of course, is Hazur Anwar's address that was delivered at the occasion of the opening of the mosque.
So all of these publications will be made available shortly. For al-Hakam, viewers can log on to al-Hakam.org and view the edition online. For al-Fazl, it's al-Fazl.org, and for the Review of Religions, it's reviewofreligions.org. We very much encourage our viewers to enrich themselves in the legacy of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, especially as more and more literature is becoming available for our English readership. Jazakallah Ahsanul Jaza. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.